It's a little easier to pick the top 5 bowling spells in Australia over the years than it is to pick batting. Australia, as I keep saying, is a wonderful batting country. It's also a seam bowling country. So you'll notice that of the 5 that I have picked, 4 are fast bowling performances. But there have been some great ones over the years, some memorable ones over the years, none better than Kapil Dev's 5 wickets at Melbourne in 1981, India grabbing an improbable win. Erapalli Prasanna bowling beautifully all through that 67-68 series and picking up 25 wickets. Chandrasekhar's 1204, how's that for symmetry? 6 for 52 in either innings to deliver India a test win at Melbourne. That was back in 77-78. But I know I've been around for a while, but even I was way too young to be watching those series. So I'll stick to what I have seen, and I'm going to start today, number 5, with my first tour to Australia. The first test match in Brisbane, 91-92, was a great test match for Kapil Dev personally. Not a great one for India, I must admit. Came into bat 67 for 5 and scored a run ball 40. Second innings came into bat at 47 for 5, scored a run ball 25. But this is a bowling block. He took 4 for 80. He was getting the ball to swing. Doesn't swing a lot in Australia. He took 4 for 80 in that first innings. But in particular, there were 2 balls that he bowled in a 3-ball spell. One that got rid of a well-set Alan Border. The ball swung into the left-hander, and then the next one was Dean Jones. And you must keep watching that. Jones has just come in, tries to put bat to ball. The ball curls away wickedly, but Kapil Dev smiles beautifully like he always did. And those were what, 2 and 3 balls. Kapil Dev in 91-92 gave us a final glimpse of what a great bowler he was. Went past 400 wickets on that tour and then eventually finished 434. But Kapil Dev 91-92 was our last sighting of the genuinely great Kapil Dev. But his legacy endured. And at number 4, I've got someone who Kapil Dev enjoyed watching. Much like Kapil Dev, released the seam beautifully, got it to nip a little that way, a little this way, and it came from Mohammad Shami in Perth. Australia picked up a little first innings lead. India needed to ensure that the target wasn't great, and Shami went through the middle order, spell after spell, that ball coming rhythmically, beautifully at the batsman. He took 6 for 56, and it was just so good to see. India were consistently outpacing Australian fast bowlers on that tour, which was something that I never thought I would see. And Shami's 6 for 56 was just fantastic. Then at number 3, I've got a spin bowler. A bowler that some in Australia had actually started to make fun of. On an earlier tour of Australia, Anil Kumble took 5 for 450. It takes every spinner a second tour of Australia to show how good he can be. Kumble didn't play the first test in 2003-04 in Brisbane. Harbhajan was picked in his place, then got picked for the second test, and at the end of day 1, Australia are 400 for 5. Kumble only has 1 wicket. It seemed like Australia are going to make 700-800 runs, whatever. Then the next day, Australia are bowled out for 556. Kumble picks up 4 wickets, maybe thinks, right, I belong here. And in the games that followed, he picks up a 6 for, an 8 for, a 4 for, and nobody after that will say that Kumble cannot bowl in Australia again. It was in many ways the proof, in spite of having been around for 10 or 11 years, that Kumble could deliver the goods overseas. And he almost won India the series. We were one stumping away from winning that series at Sydney. So there you are, Anil Kumble at number 3 on my list. At number 2, I'm going to pick the very same test match, but the second innings. India have mounted this fabulous fight back through Rahul Dravid and VVS Lakshman. Australia still lead by 33. But Ajit Agarkar bowls the spell of his life. Australia going for the runs to ensure that India have a huge target to chase in the 4th innings, and Ajit Agarkar just bowls a lovely line, gets 3 top order batsmen out, then comes back, finishes off the tail, and India was set a target of 230, which eventually Rahul Dravid anchors once again. But the performance of a lifetime, you think of Ajit Agarkar in Test cricket, you think of that 6 for 41 in the 3rd innings of a test match in Adelaide, where the previous 2 had been 556 and 523. India made 233 for 6. It was the one inning that a bowler dominated, and that was Ajit Agarkar, giving India a rare win in Australia. That was number 2. But number 1 was a sight for sore eyes. If, like me, you'd been going to Australia for many years and seeing these big Australian fast bowlers come and bounce the batsman out, to see an Indian bowler just scything, literally going through the Australian batting lineup was just unbelievable. India had made 440 or thereabouts in the first innings. The series is level 1-1, And then Bumrah comes in and delivers 6 for 33. He gets the ball to swing a little bit. He gets it to Seabaway, bowls the bouncer, even bowls a really wicked slow ball. One of the balls of the series to get rid of Shaun Marsh and bowls Australia out for 150. There was the series there. The first series win that for India in all these years of travelling to Australia. That spell by Jasprit Bumrah ensured it was home. 6 for 33 by Jasprit Bumrah is my number one spell in all the years I've watched cricket in Australia.